Hello and welcome to Bay 1. This is Jafar Maraxi on June 30th. We're taking a look at the Aeroflak Sentinel and power update for Robocraft. So there's also the quality of life update and stuff like that. So let's go and get onto the screen so we can go through the notes and all that kind of stuff. So where are we? The new update is out now. Log in and try it out. The new Aeroflak Sentinel offers more options in defending against the sky. The new CPU to power system brings balanced and more consistent, enjoyable gameplay across all battles of any CPU. New movement options implemented for rotors, which can now be controlled with the mouse, and so many more balance changes, improvements, and bug features. To read full patch notes, click here. Otherwise, get into Robocraft and try out the patch. So here are the full patch notes. So we're going to do a quick run over on these, and let's just double check to make sure sound is working. Yeah, it is. Okay. So Aeroflak Sentinel, a smaller, more versatile version of the larger Aeroflak Guardian, which allows for more freedom of building. So I'm actually just going to quickly toggle off the Firefox capture so we can actually take a look at that. So these are the old Aeroflaks, or the Aeroflak Guardians, and this is the Aeroflak Sentinel. So it does take up a lot less surface area. You can actually mount them a lot more close, or a lot more closely. Oh man, I can't even pronounce the words correctly. But in terms of CPU usage, it helps if I'm actually on the right thing. We will take a look here. So we have Aeroflak Sentinel. Where's it gone? There. CPU usage 150 flops as opposed to, so it's half of that. Health is 67,000. So health is about half. Mass is way less than half. So it's not just, this is 4,500 kilograms. This thing is 13.8. So two of these will easily weigh less than one. In terms of damage, 31,000 per hit. So the damage is still the same between them. Power consumption 271,000 per shot, as opposed to same thing. Single gun fire rate 0.67, whereas 1.33. So max fire rate 1.67, 1.33. So max fire rate is a little bit slower. You would want to have 4 guns, but 4 guns of this would actually be better in terms of mass than 2 standard Aeroflaks. So to be honest, there's not really a reason to use standard Aeroflaks unless you want a slightly higher fire rate. Huh. Okay. Well, whatever maths works out. So yeah, that's the actual math there, or the actual stats. Anyway, so back to the patch notes. So yeah, has mass of 1380, which is below half the weight of the Guardian. Costs 150 CPU, which is exactly half. The next change here is CPU to power. Players now have access to more power with higher CPU robots and less power with lower CPU robots. And high pixel later. Robots at 1125 CPU will not see a difference, but higher CPU robots will see an increase, and lower CPU robots will see a decrease. So basically, if you're on, if you're playing at lower tiers, or if you're wanting to try going seal clubbing, you're going to be limited into using lower end items, mostly because the energy use of high end items just won't work. So no more ion cannon or ion disruptor is, what's the full one? Ion disruptor or distorter, I can't remember the names of the damn things, at TDM for Newbieville. But anyway, so at the extreme ends of the spectrum, 1750 robots will see an increase of 25%, and 500 CPU robots will see a decrease of 25% power regen and regeneration. One of the main benefits of this new mechanic is that low CPU gains will be less dominated by larger burst weapons, leading to fewer instant deaths and an overall more enjoyable experience. Rotors are now supported by camera steering controls. You can now turn your robot using your mouse and tilt it up and down. This also means rotors now strafe properly. Camera relative controls can be activated on the garage bays in the robot select screen. Now some other changes to balance. Aeroflak explosion radius has been reduced by 15%. Yes. Man, how long have we been waiting for that? Increase the height a robot needs to be away from the ground before Aeroflak triggers against it. And again, this is something that we've been waiting for so long. The fact that you're in a hover and you're getting hit by Aeroflak is just stupid. But now it means that most hovers should find they don't trigger anymore, although mega hovers may still do so. Again, that's fair enough. And Matt, Greg, hi, welcome to the stream. And Mateus Antonio dos Santos Simoes, I can't pronounce that properly. Hi and welcome to the YouTube chat. Laser projectile speed has been increased by 100%. So lasers are hit scan, well, not hit scan, but it means they should be a lot more accurate now. So laser camera shake's been reduced, projectile spread has been reduced, so they're going to be a lot more accurate, which it was definitely needed because lasers just sucked. I mean, they, yeah, were just horrible. No more inaccuracy while moving, yay. So similar to Rails on that front. Laser attack rate and DPS has been increased, but damage per shot has been decreased, so a net buff, which should make lasers more powerful while making them feel more satisfying to use. So we got a chart of the actual damage buff tables here, which the overall change, you can see the overall DPS change is not going to be so noticeable at lower end, but at higher end they will be, which this is definitely a great thing. And the accuracy change for lower end, because this was something that was completely insane, was the accuracy. There was 0 points using level 1 lasers because they sucked. But yeah, so the accuracy changes there are definitely going to be useful. And all of the numbers there in terms of power is based on an 1125 CPU robot. So other improvements and changes: components no longer need to be destroyed to deal damage to a robot. So a 98 CPU mech leg that has lost half its armor will only be considered as having 49 CPU of health, which that was something that you will have seen. The certain robots, when you destroyed most of them, you would end up with like literally just an ion cannon or Aeroflak cannon or a mega laser or a mega plasma just sitting on the ground, still being able to shoot, still being fully functional, yeah, and you have to destroy the entire thing. It's not a matter of getting it down to 25 hit points or 25% hit points, because yeah, that if that was half of the hit points of the robot, you'd have to destroy the entire thing, which kind of gave it an artificially high amount of hit points for that design. So what this change does is it then removes that barrier. So now it's actually counting the active available hit points of the robot completely, so that as soon as it hits 25% of your original starting value, you will die, which that was a much needed change. So reduce the spread of laser crosshair, blah blah blah, yeah, we've done that. All game modes now unlocked at player level 5, so you no longer have to get to level 10 to unlock the game modes. Front facing lasers now have a turning arc of 180 degrees, so that more or less makes them into normal lasers. The power module now increases power regeneration by 25% relative to existing power regeneration as per CPU to power changes. So it will always be increased from 10 to 8 seconds, regardless of your actual total energy. So it's still dependent on CPU. It's still worthwhile adding it as a CPU block, but you know, for that 25% extra power buff, it's worthwhile. Improved camera relative controls for hovers while they are upside down to stop them from jittering wildly. Okay, nominal counts are now referred to as max in the game. Tooltips to better communicate the purpose of that value. So this is where we just get into stuff that really doesn't matter so much. other than some frame rate improvements for by adding a level of detail meshes for newer weapons. So that basically means the further away a weapon is, the less graphical detail it gets drawn in to help reduce the frame rate load. And yep, Progress Seekers moved in inventory and some other stuff. And then there's a bunch of bug fixes, which doesn't really matter. I'm not seeing anything here other than frame rate shorts from Iron Distorter and some other stuff, but yeah, that's it for the patch notes. And now the next section. So this is what was mentioned in terms of what they were going to do with the status of the game changes. We don't really need to go through this because we've actually gone through the patch notes. Now the other thing is the quality of life community poll, which this ended on Monday, and I should have really tried to do a video on this earlier, but I've just been busy. So we've got down here, the winner of the poll is add robot center of mass, and total health indicators in edit mode. This is actually a pretty major quality of life improvement for the game, in that it enables you to get a lot more actual information about the bot you're building. You're no longer kind of building it blind. You actually get to see live stats on it. So having that kind of stuff and being able to see where the actual center of mass of your robot is so that you can build more asymmetrical designs is a big thing. I mean, it makes it a lot more intuitive. Hopefully they go and add in the undo and redo buttons for edit mode as well, but we probably won't see that. But yeah, and of course the bottom voted item, add paid name change functionality. No one cares about that. So yeah, hopefully that gets removed from the next poll. Yeah, quite honestly, anything that is like a paid feature, no one's really going to vote those up in terms of community involvement. So Free Jam probably shouldn't really add those. But anyway, so we should be seeing that probably within the next either 2 to 4 weeks. So that should be the mass and health indicators for edit mode. But anyway, so that's that part. So let's go and take a closer look at the actual Aeroflak. So I'm just going to go and take these off of here, see if I've got a robot. Man, I have to quit out of edit mode here and go back. Let's see if I've got a robot that I can actually just go and deploy these on that will somewhat work. Did I want to put them on Sushi? Nope. Is there anything that will somewhat work? How much CPU is this thing using? It is at 1623. No, the CPU is too high. I mean, it could work on this. Yeah, let's take the SMGs off of this, go and edit that, and I should hopefully have enough spare CPU to put the Aeroflaks on the side there. So where did they go? The Aeroflak Sentinels. No, hitboxes are way too big. Do I want to put them out there? There we go. Nope, CPU limits won't allow me to do that. Blah. Yeah, that's because I'm not max CPU on this account yet. Back to main menu, let's find a different robot to use. Do we even have anything that's going to be easily upgradable? Ha, how about the crab? Yeah, I can probably fit them on the crab. Alright, so let's take the nanos off of this. Put the sentinels on the back here, somewhere. And collision issues all the way. And of course I still don't have enough CPU. And I've got a nano on this spare somewhere. There we go. There we go. So now it's going to be an Aeroflak crab. So let's go and take this into what, test mode? Yeah, test mode. Oh yeah, I've got to go back to the main menu, play and test mode, and let's see how the Aeroflaks actually fire. And Machine Core, hi, welcome to the YouTube chat. And if anyone's chatting on any other service at the moment, I can't see those windows because I don't have the chat application open. But when I switch to doing the proper stream, that will show up. So wow, this is really slow to fire. Way slower compared to the normal Aeroflak. But also a hell of a lot more lightweight, so we'll definitely see some uses from that. But yeah, I'm not going to actually take this into combat or anything like that. I just wanted to show you how it works, and it's got those 5 connection points, which is good. Basically it means you can add more stacked hit points on it than, or as many stacked hit points on it as the normal Aeroflak. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this part of the stream. I am going to be back in a few minutes to actually play. It is still worth playing. I'm just, I'm still enjoying playing PlanetSide and stuff like that, so I've got back into playing that since I added the build mode. But anyway, I'm going to end this part of the stream here. Don't forget to subscribe, which there's a subscribe button somewhere around. It actually depends on what service you're working on. I think, yeah, you find it. There's a subscribe button somewhere. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in a few minutes. Goodbye.